Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? So today I am going to do a Slim and World friendly recipe using these really large pasta shells. Now this is a recipe that my husband found in the Sunday Times magazine, and we're just going to tweak it a little bit because that's what we do. And it's going to be absolutely delicious, and we're going to serve it with fish. So we've got some beautiful lemon sole from the fishmongers, and we're going to do a really nice sauce with that as well. So it's going to be a real taste sensation. So I better get going, and it's going to start off by cooking my pasta, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Right, so while my pasta is cooking, I'm going to get cracking on with the sauce to go with the pasta. So normally you'd use wild garlic leaves, couldn't get them. So I'm going to use spinach, which I love anyway, and it will still give this dish an absolute amazing taste. So I've literally just filled that up with handfuls, and I'm just going to pile in a lot of garlic into this. So I'm going to put in probably 2 heaped teaspoons of garlic into this. I'm actually running out of garlic, that's not good. Right, okay, into that. Just going to add a splash of olive oil just to give it a bit of moisture. Literally was a splash. Then I'm going to pop the lid on and literally blitz it for a minute. Right, so I'm just going to add in a little bit of lemon juice, just to add a bit of flavour. And I know I don't normally do this, but I am going to add in just a tad bit of sea salt, just to give it extra flavouring, because it won't be very much. And just blitz that up again. Right, so to this now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of pine nuts. There we go. And then I need to add the zest of a lemon. And then I need a tablespoon of tahini. Now, if you knew how difficult to get hold of tahini was, I went to 6 supermarkets for this. So yeah, I was going to think about making it myself, but then I was struggling to get sesame seeds, so you can't win, can you? So I'm just going to stir it around in the jar, and I'm just going to add to this 1 tablespoon. Let me just pour that in. This is what you would use if you're doing your own hummus, actually, to add a bit of flavour. It's very nutty, it's lovely. This will need to be sinned. I don't have the app, as you know, so you'll need to check this out. You could leave it out, I suppose, if you want to, but why leave it out when the recipe says leave it in? Right, so all I'm going to do now is put the lid back on that, if I can find my lid. There it is. And give that a good zap again. Right, so that's done, so I'm going to leave that now to set aside while I crack on with the rest of the dish. Just going to cook this broccoli off now, just so it's slightly tender. Don't want it overcooked, just want it slightly cooked, because I will carry on cooking it in with the pasta later. So my pasta shells are doing nicely. I don't want them, again, too soft, because they're going to have a bit more cooking later on. So I'm going to leave those. When the pasta shells are almost cooked, I'm going to put in about 100 grams of garden peas frozen straight in there, just to finish those off, and then I'll drain all that together. And then while this is all cooking, I'm going to get on to make a butter to go with the fish, which for you guys is probably optional, but it's essential for my husband. So let me show you how I'm going to make that butter. Right, so I've got in here some butter. This is 60 grams of butter. Again, you're going to have to sin it if you want this. I may have just a little bit, not much. I have got a glove on because I've just been chopping a red chilli, and anyone knows what chopping chilies is like. It's a bit of a nightmare. I guarantee you'll stick it in your hand or your eyes or whatever, or boys even worse. Okay, so just mashing my butter down, and I'm going to add into that a handful of chopped parsley and 1 red chilli. which I've left the seeds in, so there is probably going to be quite a little bit of heat in here. You could take the seeds out if you want to numb it down a little bit, that's fine. And then to this I need to add some orange, but what I'm going to do first of all is take my glove off because I don't want to get chili on my orange. I'm just going to grate the zest of an orange into here. If you can get a blood orange, I think it'll be better, but you can't get those very often around here, so I tried. As I said, I visited 6 supermarkets to get the ingredients for this, only because the tahini was really difficult to get hold of. Everywhere I went, it was like sold out. I don't know if a chef has been using it recently on TV, because that usually causes a massive spike in sales of items. If there is and you know, let me know. Or is it just because it's hummus season? I don't know. Who knows? Let's get plenty of zest into this, because this will help with that chili. I think that will do. And then I'm just going to scrape that off, and then with a knife, that isn't the one I use for the chili, I'm just going to chop my orange in half. Oops, and squeeze the juice in. Can't beat orange. Right. And then just mash all that together. That's Lola groaning, bless her. What's up, Lola Bear? Hey, you thinking it's fish? Hardly anything for you tonight, hmm? I know. And I'm just going to season it with some pepper. That's as mashed in as it needs to be. I think I've got any lumps of just butter. So all I'm going to do now is just pop that in the fridge until I'm ready to cook my fish. So let me get cracking with the rest of the pasta, and then we can start working on the fish. Right, so I have my fish here, if you can see that. Just move back slightly. And I'm going to do it on separate trays, just because I know my husband would like more butter than I would. And I don't know if you can see there's a lot of orange juice there, so I'm going to go more for the juice on mine and make sure he goes for more butter on his. So what I'm going to do is place this on each of the fish. So there is some butter for me, don't get me wrong. But it's not going to be as much as my husband's, but I'm going to have this juice. Just get it all out. And then just going to smooth it over the fish. There we go. And then the same for myself. Perfect. Now this only takes 8 to 10 minutes, so it doesn't need very long. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it up And then, so I know which is mine, I'm just going to put a tear in the end, like that. And then I'm just going to pop those to one side, and I'll put them in the oven when it's warmed up. It needs to go in a hot oven to cook it quickly. And I can now get on and do the pasta. Right, so I've got 150 grams of sliced chestnut mushrooms here that I am just going to cook off on a very high heat just to caramelise them. Right, so my mushrooms are well and truly caramelised now. So I'm just going to add into here my broccoli. I also add some asparagus that I roasted slightly in the oven, just to give it that nuttier taste. I'm just going to mix that in. And then I need to start adding in the sauce that I made earlier. Smells so garlicky. Right, so I just need to make sure that everything is coated in this. Which I think it now is. So now I need to pop in some pine nuts. So I'm just going to add in a nice handful of pine nuts. Again, you would have to thin those if you want to. And then I need to put in a squeeze of lemon juice. Trying to avoid the pips, I've got two in. It's okay, I can get those out quickly. They look like pine nuts, that's the only difficulty, but I've got them. We're okay. And then just give that a stir. Right, that is done. So all that needs now is the pasta to be added in. But before I do that, what I want to do is make another sauce for my fish quickly. Do you know what? I said this was slim meal friendly at the very beginning. It's not if you do it this way. Obviously, you choose to have this sauce if you want to. You can sin it or not. It's just a little knob of butter. I didn't weigh it because I'm not planning really to have this sauce. It's more for my husband. So I'm just going to melt this butter down until it starts to sort of foam up. So I don't want it to burn, but I want it to sort of get quite warm. Right, can you see the butter's now starting to get all foamy? So what I'm doing now is add in 2 tablespoons of capers. Love capers. Perfect. I'm going to cook these until they get crispy. You could do this, I suppose, without the butter. And then you would make it sin free. Right, so my capers are done. So now I'm going to add in some lemon. Again, try not to get the pips in. You'll see a theme running through all of this. Very citrusy. Okay. And then the rest of the orange that I used earlier. I'm going to put all that juice in. A bit more here as well, actually. Perfect. And I'm literally just going to cook that off because this is going to go on top of my fish to give it a really nice citrus flavour. Fabulous. So while that's warming up, I can now get round to putting my fish in the oven. Just wash my hands. I feel I've got so much citrus all over them. So I'm going to pop them in as discussed. So I'm going to pop them in for 8 to 10 minutes at 180 degrees. Did I say that? it's a hot oven, so the oven's been warming, so that's just going to sizzle there, and then we'll get the fish in, and then we'll go back to the pasta. Right, so the fish is in, and I am timing it, so it's all about precision now. So it's time to finish off the pasta. So I'm going to put the heat back underneath this, just to keep it warm. And I'm going to add to this the pasta and the peas. As you know, I added the peas towards the end. I'll just get rid of that saucepan out of the way. And so I'm just going to break this down a little bit now. See, because it's been cooling, they've stuck together. But that's fine, we can get rid of that. Just break it up a little bit. I'm just going to mix this all up. This is my Burkoff wok, by the way. It's brilliant. If you want to do big dishes like this, there's so much room in it, and I just love it. And then I did keep back some of the pasta liquid, so I'm just going to pop that in. There we go. And I'm just going to cook that off for a second. What this will do is this will just refresh it and also make a sauce, and it will thicken the sauce because it's the pasta liquid as opposed to just putting plain water back in. Okay. And then what I'm also going to do, this is very green, isn't it? Just realised this. Apart from the odd mushroom you can see through, this is a green dish. But it's okay because the fish is got lots of chilies and redness in that, so it's fine. So I'm going to turn that heat down, but I'm also going to add in here some more spinach leaves. Just a handful, or maybe 2, or maybe 3. Whatever you fancy, there we go. And then I'm also going to top off with some grated, oh, don't do that, grated parmesan. This is optional, you don't need to do this, but I think pine nuts, parmesan, just works, doesn't it? Just give that a bit of a mix, making a right mess of my cooker, but I think a clean can't sort out. Perfect. And all I'm going to do, oops, knock my sauce off, which I'm going to move to a different flame, just so I don't knock it off again, is pop the lid on that and just keep it simmering while my fish is cooking. So we're talking minutes now, so that all smells lovely. Hubby came in earlier and he was like, oh my god, this all looks nice, all smells nice, so hopefully it is going to taste as good as it looks. Next time you see this, it'll be on the plate. Right, so we are ready and we are dished. So that's mine. So if you wonder what the difference between mine and my husband, you can see mine is more orange juice than butter. And then if you go to my husband's, you can see lots of butter. So he's going to really love that. And then the pasta. Yeah, it's a lot of pasta for 2 people. So it might be a salad for me for my lunch tomorrow as well. But it looks amazing. So really can't wait to actually tuck in now. It takes a bit of juggling to get it all done, to get it all cooked at the same time, because you don't want the fish to overcook and you don't want the pasta to overcook and the veg and else, but you know what, so worth it. Very citrusy, there's a lot of garlic in here, and yes, I did say at the beginning it was Slim World friendly. You need to tweak it to get it Slim World friendly, I'm afraid, but like I've done, I've not had the butter or anything else in mine, but I've concentrated more on the orange juice, so yeah, I'll let you know how it goes. Right, so dishwasher's on. And there's a pile of washing up there, which is drying. This dish took a lot of making, a lot of dirty pans and utensils, but do you know what? It was so worth it. It was absolutely incredible. It wasn't to the recipe that we saw. You know me, I have to tweak these things. It needed wild leaves, wild garlic leaves, which I could not find for love or money, so I used spinach instead. But that did not detract from the taste at all. And we had asparagus and things like that, so it was absolutely gorgeous. Hubby said it's the best meal he has had in such a long time, so that was a massive thumbs up. And it was lovely, and I know at the beginning said it was Slim World friendly. The way I did it today, It is not, okay, but you can leave the butter out of all the sauces, okay? When you do your fish, you can leave the butter out and just have the orange juice with the chilli and the parsley and things like that. So you can tweak it to make it sin-free. And the pasta dish was to die for. So again, you know, tahini you do need. I think, you know, if you didn't put tahini in that sauce for the pasta, I think it would ruin it. But just, I don't know what it is, because I haven't got the app anymore. But just check what it is, because whatever it is, for the amount that we did, it was quite a lot of pasta there. It's going to be worth it. It really does make a difference. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, notifications, and give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Okay, you take care. See you soon.